the winds of change begin to blow, set your sails for a new horizon. Bintulu Port is steering into the future, embracing new ideas at full speed.
We have a program called Social Enterprise Initiative where we support the small entrepreneur in Sarawak to buy their products and creating a sustainable income to them.
What are you waiting for? Sail into the future with Decimal Point.
Dan ini sudah tentu akan menjadi satu-satunya pembangunan yang harus kita laksanakan di kawasan Bintulu. Dan dari sudut kargo memang ia akan bertambah dari sudut ekspor. Dan saya yakin bahawa dengan pengurusan di bawah Kerajaan Sarawak, kita dapat menyelaraskan semua sumber ekspor kita ke perubahan yang strategik.
Today, we continue to dive into the minds of some of the key personnel driving Bintulu Port, ready to embark on an exciting journey into the future. Ongoing plans include to expand the existing container terminal at Bintulu Port and also establishing a new terminal at Samalaju Port to accommodate the increasing demand for cargo as well as other business solutions like carbon capture and storage or CCS. With a focused approach towards green initiatives, even studying how global warming affects port operations, Bintulu Port is demonstrating how both innovation and sustainability goes hand in hand. What are some of the sustainability targets being set and the actions taken to achieve them?
We are committed to achieve net zero carbon emission by 2050. On top of that, we also target to reduce our GHG emission by 30% for Scope 1 and Scope 2. We have outlined a comprehensive action plan that focusing on 7 focus areas. So among the important focus areas that we are looking at is the application of renewable energy, and then a comprehensive sustainable waste management, biodiversity conservation, and emission management. On top of that, by also conducting energy efficiency practice in our operation. Among the notable one is the application of renewable energies in our handling equipment. The usage of electrifications for our vehicle fleet and handling equipment such as reach takers, RTDs, and of course our key crane and level laughing crane, which is being used at Bintulu Port, Bintulu International Container Terminal, and Samalaju Port, is already using electricity. But in the future, next year, we'll be shifting to electric equipment such as reach takers and rubber tire gantry crane. At the moment, our vehicle fleet for our operations, next year in January, we're going to have 12 electric SUV and 15 electric motorcycle. On top of that, currently also we are using 24 units of e-scooters for us to provide employee mobility moving around our facilities. And we also have 3 electric buggies that we use for the transportation of staff within our premises. And for biodiversity conservation, we have a biodiversity framework that encompasses on tree planting activities and the restorations of floral and fauna. For tree planting activities, we are working together with Bintulu Development Authority, Sarawak Forestry Department, and STIDC. As of now, we have planted 4,000 trees in Samalaju and in Bintulu areas, and in areas within Bintulu, including the Simalaja Forest Reserve. And we target to plant 100 to 130,000 trees in the next 5 years, which will offset the carbon emission of our employee commute under Scope 3. For biodiversity conservations, we are working together with Sarawak Forestry Corporations to look at the conservations of coral reef, turtles, and the adoptions of our beloved orangutan. And we are also working with UPM on the conservations and the post-harvesting approach for SCTs, which is bubuk and udang galah.
And with all these corporate sustainability strategies in place, I'm sure you'll face some challenges. Could you share with us some key challenges you would face and how would you overcome them?
Okay, like any other organizations, we face challenges in implementing our sustainability efforts. One of it, I think the main one, is the high outlay cost for us to implement the green technologies, especially investing in new technologies. So how do we overcome this? We work close collaboration with government agencies, financial institutions, and service providers. We partner with them in coming up with the best solutions and, of course, securing incentive for us to reduce the cost in getting and implementing all these green technologies. Number two is changing the mindset and getting the reliable, accurate data in time for us to calculate our carbon footprint for Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3. Changing the mindset is very important so that we can align everybody, our shareholders, our stakeholders, our staff at every level to realize the importance of sustainability in getting that value for the group. And for us to overcome this, of course, we have to create continuous awareness program for everybody, and this must be done periodically. And for the data that we need to compile for us to calculate our emissions, we have established a system, what we call the ESG system. Is the first port that implement the system in East Malaysia, so that we can have a dashboard system, we have an SOP, digitization of our data, so that we can compile this data on real time and periodically for us to do the monitoring and reporting.
Wonderful. And with all these corporate sustainability initiatives in place, will this bring benefit to the local community or Sarawakians in general?
Yes, of course. If we look at one of our value creations of sustainability is to bring benefits to the society. One of it is we have a program called Social Enterprise Initiative, where we support the small entrepreneur in Sarawak to buy their products and creating a sustainable income to them. Number two is on the some of the project that we are undertaking now, especially on the biodiversity conservation and tree planting project, especially for the planting of bamboo or buloh in this case, where one of the programs is we work together with STIDC to buy back this bamboo from the community whereby we encourage them to plant their bamboos, and we have planned to buy back this bamboo from them, which is something that we create an income to the community. Number 3, of course, the post-harvest program for bubuk and udang galah. At the moment, this bubuk being processed, turned into belacan and being turned into animal feedstock. Part of the program is for us to have a collection center and buy back the product and bubuk from them. This will create a supplementary and economic income to them.
What is the strategies that's being implemented by Bintulu Port to achieve its target and Hala Tuju 2050?
So the port has been in operations for the past 4 decades. And then from the past 4 decades until today, we actually have grown from one LNG port to become a multi-purpose port. Right. So we not only handle LNG, but we also handle non-LNG sector. In terms of our achievement, there's no shortage of it. We are currently the sole LNG export terminal for the nation. We are actually the first in the region to actually export LNG through LNG ISO tanks. We actually have 95% of the palm oil export handled at our Bintulu port, and then we have also become the biggest container port in Sarawak. So moving forward in the coming years, we have to come up with a plan that addresses also all these high risk and high probable impact risks that can affect our future as a port. So that is why the group has developed our long-term 50-year master plan, what we call Hala Tuju 2050. So this Hala Tuju 2050 will guide our business initiative in the next coming years. So our initiative will be divided into 3-pronged strategies. The first prong will be core port business. So our core port business will be the existing businesses that we currently have. This will still be the bread and butter for the port, will still be our main focus moving forward. But at the same time, we will also look at our other 2 prongs. Number 2 will be the low carbon clean energy. So we know that the demand for clean energy is rapidly growing. So as the port, these are the things that we have to look at and address, and then be part to make the port and the planet a healthier planet and also benefiting from it. And then the next one that we are looking at will be things that are related to beyond port businesses. So while core port will still be our main focus, we will also explore the beyond port side of our activities. This will help us diversify our businesses, and then will increase our revenue streams and hopefully bring value add to our activities that we are currently doing in the port. So all of this encompasses to help us increase revenue stream, diversify our businesses, and also capitalize on our resources as well as capability, and then hopefully can achieve our Hala Tuju 50-50, which is 50% revenue from core port businesses, 50% revenue from beyond port businesses as well as low carbon clean energy, 5 billion revenue, and achieving net zero carbon emission by 2050. So that will be our strategies moving forward. Our cargo sector is split between LNG as well as non-LNG, but if we look back at the Hala Tuju 2050 that we have mentioned earlier, we are looking also in the low carbon clean energy as well as the beyond port, hydrogen, methanol, microalgae, or sustainable aviation fuel. We are actively seeking out opportunities to these sectors.
The development of free zones at Bintulu Port has been brought up for discussion. Why? Because such efforts will definitely stimulate economic growth and attract more investment to Sarawak. what about the Borneo oil and gas supply base? With this establishment of this base, how would that contribute to Bintulu Port's long-term growth?
So the development of Bintulu Port was actually catalyzed by the discovery of oil and gas in Bintulu in the late 70s. So put simply, oil and gas has always been the DNA for Bintulu Port. Over the last 15 years, Bintulu Port has been providing support services to these oil and gas players, providing them facilities as well as services. Okay, with more and more discoveries made offshore Bintulu and near to Bintulu Port, Bintulu Port has taken the decisive action to apply and obtain the supply-based license from the Ministry of Finance. With this establishment of the Borneo oil and gas supply base, Bintulu Port will not only be able to provide services and support to the production phase of the oil and gas activity, but it also allows us to provide services and support to every aspect of the oil and gas activity in the upstream operations. In terms of the contribution to the Bintulu Port's growth, having a Borneo oil and gas supply base will help us to diversify our businesses from commercial port to also a supply base, and will also help us increase our revenue stream, because the type of services provided as a commercial port compared to a supply base are not necessarily similar, and it will also help us position ourselves as the main oil and gas hub for the state.
That would mean that Bintulu Port will be more of a one-stop center, so to say, because you're providing these extra services.
Yes, yeah. So the port, Bintulu Port, currently is a commercial port.
Okay.
So activities with regards to containers, with regards to project cargoes, with regards to the breakbulk cargoes, all goes through Bintulu Port. But having a supply base, we also provide a base. We provide facilities such as office spaces, warehouses, dedicated wharf, crew change facilities that enables crew to sign off, sign on before they go on to the platforms. It also helps us provide services such as the container carrying units, or CCU. It's similar like a container, but it's meant for oil and gas activity. It's smaller in size compared to a normal container. It also allows us to provide high capacity equipment, crane, to support these oil and gas activities that is currently being supported from Bintulu Port. Yeah.
Amidst challenging markets, how does Bintulu Port plan to sustain its revenue growth by leveraging on LNG demand?
Okay, so like we mentioned earlier, our cargo sector is split between LNG as well as non-LNG. Yes, LNG is currently our main cargo contributor for the group. But if we look back at the Hala Tuju 2050 that we have mentioned earlier, we are looking also in the low carbon clean energy as well as the beyond port. So because of that, we know that there are more and more discoveries, or there are more and more energies being found currently. For example, hydrogen, methanol, microalgae, or sustainable aviation fuel. So with that in mind, that's why we are actively seeking out opportunities to also providing support to these sectors or industries that has been identified to be established within the surrounding Kidurong area as well as Bintulu area. So for the port core activities, we will plan our infrastructure, we will plan our development to cater to the requirements of this newfound energy. But at the same time, with regards to LNG, we are also looking or exploring in areas, for example, bunkering, where we can actually provide support to bunker LNG to vessels moving forward.
Sarawak is at the forefront of hydrogen economy, showcasing our commitment to innovation and our vision of becoming a global leader in clean energy.
Now let's take a look at the bigger picture. Sarawak is transitioning towards renewable energy and green initiatives. So what role does Bintulu Port play in this part?
So as our YIB Premier has mentioned, the state is very much championing green energy as well as green initiative, and would like to incorporate as much green energy or initiative inside any of the state's development plans. So this is no exception for Bintulu Port as a group. Recently, we are proud to say that we have received our Green Terminal certification from Bureau Veritas, and then where our terminal has been recognized to be green terminals. Yeah, it's our containers, our multi-purpose terminal, our existing supply base, our marine base. So these are the terminals that has been recognized as green terminal. But at the same time, we are also supporting by providing or planning our port to be developed together with all this upcoming green energy or initiative that is being put in motion by the state government, such as the upcoming hydrogen plants, the methanol plants, the microalgae plants that will create all this sustainable aviation fuel. So our port planning and infrastructure will be moving together with this development.
Now, digitalization is a hype at the moment. So how does digitalization of operations help enhance Bintulu Port's uniqueness and also competitive advantage in the global market?
So when we were coming out with our Hala Tuju 2050, one of the identified risks as well as what we also term as opportunity is digitalization. So we know that overlooking digitalization will have an impact on our business growth. So for us, we have to incorporate digitalization in terms of our planning, in terms of our development, in terms of our infrastructure development. So the group, together with our group IT, has come up with a digital roadmap encompassing every aspect of the port, even from the staff up to the operations itself. We are going to be introducing our pilotage mobile system. We are going to have in place our AutoGate system that can also recognize license plate for all the lorries coming in and out of the port. So by having all of these services or facilities or value-added facilities put in place, what we aim to achieve is to minimize manual paperwork. We would like to reduce the turnaround of the port user in the port, be it on the land as well as on the sea or at the wharf. We also look at cutting down operation time as well as operational costs. So this is what are the things that we're going to do in terms of digitalization when it comes to the planning of the port.
And now let's talk about the transition of Bintulu Port from federal to state ownership. Now, how will this affect the business operation and also the long-term development?
So Bintulu Port actually is a critical asset. We actually, like we mentioned earlier, we handle about 95% of the Sarawak's LNG exports, and we are also the state's main gateway for palm oil. All this while we have been under the federal governance. So with the transition from federal towards state, this will actually facilitate unified governance of all the ports across Sarawak, whereby we currently have 6 ports, and the only one that is under federal is Bintulu Port. So once Bintulu Port has become under the state government, we hope that the planning of the whole state will be governed by one body, which is the state government. And this will help to realize the state's post-COVID development strategy 2030, and also help to grow the state overall and achieve the YIB Premier's aspirations moving forward.
Bintulu Port, charting a new course. Imagine over the next 50 years, this place would double or even triple its size, as the vision includes land reclamation efforts to strengthen Bintulu Port as a strategic logistics hub in the region. What better time than now, as we set sail together into the future with Decimal Point.